Hi guys, this is video tutorial for NeutrinoParticles editor, and in this tutorial I will continue to tell about EmitterGuide. And we'll start now with size section. In this section you can control size of your particles. This section doesn't have much options, so particles can be square and non-square rectangle. The whole section consists of two subsections for start size and for changing size. Start size is given to particle when it is created, and then particle can keep that size during its life, or it can change it with some multiplier. So let's look at start size subsection. By default it is fixed value, so if we change it to 10, all particles have size 10. A random value will work pretty obvious for start size from 10 to 30 with uniform distribution. Also you can set random on graph to make custom distribution for random. You can make half of particles with size 30 and the second half with size 10, for example. And you can change starting size over emitter or system time. For example, the size will rise from 0 to 30 first 2 seconds. We can loop it, so our size changing is looped too on the effect. So it's pretty simple regarding to all previous knowledge about EmitterGuide. And now I need to show probably difference between square and rectangle particles and how this section will change. So whole difference will be between square and rectangle particles will be that instead of one value and one graph, we will have two values separately for width and height, and two graphs too. So let's change it, and I will make a couple of samples. Now it's fixed value where width 10 and height 30, or over emitter time, you can control width and height separately too. So I'll switch it back to show how multiplier works. If you change to multiplier for changing size, you will have additional value which will be multiplied all the time. All the lifetime of the particle will be multiplied by the start size. I will set start size to default 30 value, and by default multiplier will be set to our particle life with this graph. So our particles will reduce their size from start size to 0, because multiplier will be changed from 1 to 0. With our particle life multiplier for size, you can make a lot of different pretty things, like fast fading in and slow fading out, or you can make kinda blinking, and the start size can be random from 10 to 30, and all the particles will blink the same. This multiplier has full set of distributions, of representations, like fixed value, which doesn't have a lot of sense, random value, random on graph with random with custom distribution, over particle time, which is the same, almost the same as particle life, but with time in seconds. Over particle speed is very interesting, and it is a new one. I'll show it now. Over emitter time and over system time work the same as in previous examples, and allow you to change multiplier over relatively on emitter time or system time. So let me show over particle speed distribution. I will change start size to fixed value and change to rectangle particles. I will set it to 1, equal to 1 always, for both of width and height, so it makes no influence now, and I will tune a little the effect to make particles change their speed with motion with forces. I will set start velocity 400, air resistance 1, yep, directed force down to 400 to start velocity 600. Yes. So now we can tune over particle speed. This distribution allows you to change multiplier, size multiplier, dependently on speed of particle. Speed of particle is a distance which particle passes per second. Unfortunately, you need to measure particle speed by sight, but you need to play a little with this to get used, so it's not so difficult. I will set this like curve for both width and height. Now most of time all particles have maximum, its starting size, so their speed is much bigger than 100, probably 200 or even 300. Now I will jump a little further to make particles rotate by velocity vector, and now I will remove size changing for height of particle, and you can see that we have some kind of sparks effect, template for sparks effect. We can also change size a little. Yep. So if you want to make such effect to use over particle speed to make some kind of sparks, I suggest you to make all physics settings before you will make size changing relatively on particle speed, because these graphs relies on setup physics, on already set up physics. So if you change something, if you change forces, um, you will probably need to change these graphs too. So that's it with size section. In short, it works like start size multiplied by changing size. So that's it for this tutorial. It was pretty short. In next one, I will show you rotation of particles. There are a little more options. So thank you.